colors. She pulled back her gray hair and tied it with a faded green ribbon, lest any hairs fall on wet paint, and set to work. She poured blue paint the color of lapis lazuli into a horn and fastened it into a hole in the desk. With a knife in her right hand, she held the parchment down to prevent it from curling, and with her left hand, dipped a brush into the thick blue liquid, eddying the color in long strokes down the right side of the page, clothing the figure of one of the women in elegant drapery. Then she lightened the blue by dipping the brush in a shell filled with water to shade the fabric's folds, adding a few strokes of white with another brush to heighten the effect. On the front of the woman's gown and around her waist, she painted a saffron girdle. Then she began the drapery for the woman on the left, decorating her gown in bright madder and gracing her shoulders with a blue cape. Behind the two women, she swirled a dusky sky filled with cumulus and washes of deep violet and magenta, as if the colors of the women's costumes had leached into the heavens. Hours passed. Day faded unnoticed to dusk. The old woman's energy ebbed. She looked at the painting, nearly done. Only the faces to finish. Time for that tomorrow, she thought, as she extinguished the lamp. She damped the embers, grated the hearth, and climbed into her bed. Soon another dream floated into her sleep, a dream of her mother, carrying her in her womb and pushing her into the world. In the dream, she walked along a long pathway toward a verdant field blossoming with lilies and primrose and forget-me-nots. She saw the tip of a ladder emerge from the firmament and descend to the earth. The ladder was made not of wood, nor of metal, nor of rope, but of some ethereal substance as light as the wings of a butterfly, yet as strong as the stones of a castle, and as eternal as beauty itself. Outside, the cathedral bells tolled matins, calling the faithful to midnight prayer. The hearth embers had turned ashen. The room quietened to the moment before silence enveloped the night. She heard her mother call to her. "Now, daughter, take hold of this ladder. I will go first and lead the way. Climb up, embrace the beauty you will see, for you go now to a new country."
1. Wisdom Begins in Wonder. Fall 2018. Verity. Verity Frazier sat alone in her office at Monterey College, holding a letter in her hand. April had proved the cruelest month, delivering twin blows. Pauline's departure abruptly ending their 4-year love affair, followed by the letter's arrival, threatening to end Verity's career. Summer had brought temporary relief when her sister whisked her away for a beach holiday. Then came September, and California turned into an angry inferno, as if the whole world was about to explode. She stared out the window at the faded tangerine orb in the sky, darkened into premature dusk by smoke billowing down the coast from fires blazing 150 miles to the north. Clouds of ash loomed on the horizon. An acrid smell wafted in through a ceiling vent. Her life was a looming disaster. In the far corner stood a 4-drawer filing cabinet. Cascading down its front were dozens of photos of the revolutionary women of the Paris Commune of 1871 she'd spent her graduate school years researching. She turned her head and glimpsed the face of Elizabeth Dmitriev, the 20-year-old Russian émigré who'd summoned the women of Paris to vanquish the enemies of revolution or die trying. In the dim light of the gray day, Dmitriev's mouth seemed to twist into a grimace, accusing Verity of negligence. Or, worse still, lost faith. You would make peace with Versailles at any price. You would accept the generosity of cowardly assassins. No, it is not peace, but all-out war that the working women of Paris demand. Verity hadn't yet capitulated to the powers that be, but the single-spaced declaration of doom she'd received from the Faculty Promotions Committee